Alright, I gotta turn off that fucking timer. That's gonna bother the piss out of me.
I know, I tried to turn it off. I think the more you fuck with it, the longer it'll go. That's why I just left it.
Alright, so if you hear a click, 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 we were just trying to check to see if the power was working in our Airbnb. Folks, it is 12:14 on Tuesday, June 21st in local Icelandic time. So on the East Coast, where Will Hardman and the fellas are at, it is 4 hours behind, so it is only 8 p.m., 8:15 p.m. What timing?
So
we left
Paul,
our Airbnb to go down to see the Black Sand Beach at midnight because here in Iceland there is sun for basically 24 hours a day. I mean, it is currently nighttime, but it is still bright as if it was just an overcast day outside. And we wanted to go see the beach because it was going to be empty. And when we came back from the beach, the lights were off, and we were just kind of like, well, what the fuck? I'm here with today's guest, which will be on a couple of these. I don't know when this will get uploaded, Tim, but today's the 21st of June, Tuesday. And ladies and gentlemen, Tim LaRoche, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Conversation Pit.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Paul, here in Iceland. It's fucking great.
I know.
I've been loving it so far. It's been a great time. I've seen a lot of really cool things. Still kind of wondering if this is still planet Earth, right?
I know, right?
Landscape's just phenomenal. I mean, like nothing, I've ever seen. Granted, I've traveled all across the United States. It also holds some pretty cool landscape. Just to jump back a couple seconds here, I think Paul missed one of the most integral parts of the story.
Well, I mean, do you want to put that out into the ether? Let's say I was collecting gifts.
There's an old wives' tale here on the island, the country of Iceland, that...
Since you brought it up, you can go ahead and say it.
If you take any volcanic rock or sand from the beach, it's to be said that bad luck will follow you for the rest of your life. So the real reason why we went down to the Black Sand Beach is so Paul could grab a bag of sand because he wants to bring it back as a souvenir. Now, me, myself, I don't really believe in those types of things.
But...
I'm starting to think that this may hold some truth.
I know.
Paul had grabbed himself a nice big old Ziploc freezer baggie full of black sand.
So customs take note.
Yeah, customs. Yeah, exactly. Get ready to take that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
If his bag is not weighing over 60 pounds and it's actually able to get into the belly of the plane. Anyways, so so we leave the Airbnb, right? We leave the TV on, we leave the lights on, we leave just about everything on in here. As we walk about 100 yards down to the beach. Great location, by the way.
Oh, we are on the southernmost farm in Iceland, in a little town called Vik. We'll be here. We got here on Sunday, and we'll be here until tomorrow. We check out tomorrow, Wednesday, the 22nd.
Yeah.
So we have to check out by 10 a.m. I should have... No one knows anything about the trip, so once you finish your story, I'll go over the itinerary.
Sure. So, wrap this up quickly here. The old wives' tale says that if you take any sand or any volcanic rock from any of the beaches or any of the landscape here in Iceland, bad luck will follow you for the rest of your life. Paul now wants to go down there, believes that there's no truth to that, wants to grab that sand, fills up a bag. We get back to the Airbnb, open up the door, pitch black darkness inside. TV's off, lights are off, everything's shut off. Space heaters aren't working, stove isn't working, yada yada. Anything that has to do with any type of electricity is not working. Paul gets in, says, "Tim, did you turn up the lights?" I said, "No, you were the last one out." He says, "Oh, I didn't shut them off."
I'm just checking the shower.
We go to turn a couple things on, nothing's working, right? Paul's first response to me is, "Well, that happened quickly."
Well, no, I said there's the bad luck pretty quick.
Oh, yeah, there's the bad luck pretty quick. Yeah, something to that effect, right?
So now we're both sitting here at the kitchen table on our breakfast nook holding kitchen knives. I look to have, I believe this is a fillet knife or a bread knife.
Bread knife, yep.
And Tim, you got just a regular old chef's knife, it looks like. Or steak knife.
Pretty diesel steak knife, something they'd give you at Longhorns when you order your 16-ounce ribeye.
And we're just well armed. It's not going to do anything because our Airbnb host, Ragnar, is as big wide as he is tall.
He looks fucking Viking.
Yes, that man. When I shook his hand when we checked in, it swallowed my hand whole. No shaking, no tenderizing. Down you go. And but he was very kind in all seriousness. Yeah. But these knives will serve only to upset him further when he breaks in here to strangle us with his bare hands. Nothing will stop him. You would need a cannon from that downed fighter jet to stop him.
I've got a few things I think that I might be able to slow him down while we make our great escape.
There's no other exit. It's just the door.
No, there's not.
There are those.
But I've got a couple ideas, couple strategies I've cooked up in my head.
There you go.
Because it's a pretty eerie town, right? I mean, we're a small little cabin on the beach on this hillside. There's not many people around.
300
at all.
people live in this town.
In the town, in the center of town is about 10 kilometers away, right? I think there's more goats on the mountainside than there is people within a 5-kilometer radius. So that should tell you something. But yeah, I think if Ragnar does come in here and he's got some type of ulterior motive, he's going to meet the end of my blunt steak knife here.
Yes, so with that out of the... And this is entirely true. Like, I'm telling you, we came back here, the lights were off. We were gone not even 10 minutes. But they messaged us on our Airbnb app saying, hey, the power is going to be out from midnight to 4 a.m. So that's why, but, you know, we didn't see that message until after we got back. And I swear to God, I did not know that Tim, I don't know if you believe me or not, but that was not planned.
I do. We've been chatting and you hadn't been on your phone for the last couple hours. So I do believe that to be true. Would have been a nice little heads up had Paul check his phone and know that was coming.
I didn't get a notification or anything, which is equally as
strange in itself. All right, so I don't like my back to the door here.
You want to come sit on this side?
No, I'm just gonna stand like this.
That seems uncomfortable. Why don't you sit there? Move the doers. Sit there. Here. Let me pull this. Cigars and everything out of the way. Bought some Cuban cigars while I'm here. When in Rome, you can't get that shit in America. We'll smoke those after the race. Speaking of, let's go over the itinerary. And in fact, why don't we go back to how we met? We'll give everyone the full gambit.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll tell what I remember, and then you might have to fill in some of the details, because as we talked earlier, I reminded you I don't have the best of memories. So, my recall is not great. So you'll have to fill in the gaps for me.
Sure.
As I recall, it was orientation weekend at the place where we attended college. We don't use any names, or at least we try not to. I've definitely let it slip. You know, you just don't want, like, distinguishing information out there.
Sure,
you know?
sure.
We were at our college, our small Catholic college, and we were doing orientation weekend. We were down on the lake in the summer, and it was like we were in the same small group, and we were going around doing some events. We did that one event outside the cafe, and it was like the birdie on a perch, right? We did birdie on a perch, where you run around and you got to find somebody that has the same color shirt as you, and then they run over and they sit. One person kneels down, the other person sits on the person's leg. Was that event? And I think we met after that event. It was with another group.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it because Kendall, what was her name? She's got kids now. She's got twins.
Kendall who?
Kendall with the black hair, just like Jennifer Connelly, black hair and raven black hair and green eyes. She was shorter. I thought she was incredibly attractive.
What grade?
Our grade. I believe her name was Kendall.
Dole?
I don't want to use last names and stuff. But anyway, she was my birdie and I was the perch, and it was great. But then we started to talk as we were going into the cafeteria. We got friendlier, and one of our small group leaders, who I don't remember who it was,
Jordan.
Maybe. She was like,
Played
"Oh, you guys."
played volleyball.
Yes. Like, "Oh, you guys are friends. You guys should room together." And we kind of laughed it off, but we hit it off at lunch, and then went down to the lake itself. On the lakeside, we played Chug-a-Hug.
Chug-a-Hug, yep.
Yep. Instead
That's
of chugging
the only event I remember.
Chug-a-Hug. Well, the one that sticks out in my head was Rock, Paper, Scissors tournament, because I won the tournament.
Mm.
And there's a very famous video. I'll say it's famous because it will be in the archive when they have the museum. There's a very famous video of the two of us. We were sitting on the dock at the lake. And I was like, "Why don't you tell the people what went on?" And you go, "Rochambeau Champs 2016, let's go, baby." And then I think from then on out, we realized we wanted to live together. So we roomed together for a time during freshman year, and we've been great friends ever since. And I hit you up September of 2019.
2020.
Jesus Christ, 2021.
Holy
What
shit.
fucking year is it?
I don't even know.
I hit you up in September 2021. I had just gotten a new job, lucrative business right now. I'm getting a little bit of paper. And I say, "Hey, you know..."
you old green penis, you.
I was saying, "Hey, you want to go to Iceland with me? I'm planning this Iceland trip." And you were the only person. I called 3 people. You were the third person I called. and I had this feeling you were going to say yes, and you didn't ask a single question. You were just like, how much? What you asked one question, like, what's the cost for the flights right now? And it was what, like $650 with the checked bag option. You didn't even check a bag, you sicko.
No.
And you were
light.
like, done.
Yeah. Yeah, and needless to say, the trip, even though we've been here probably 30, 40, maybe 45 hours, it's been nothing but good times. With many more to come, I'm super excited. We've got a really, really, really good week ahead of us. I will be excited to get out of Vic and into Reykjavik. Not to say I haven't been enjoying myself, but...
Yes, Ragnar and Etta have been exceptional hosts, and the hikes today were immaculate, but it's going to rain all day tomorrow, and so we kind of lost a day of day trips that we were supposed to take, and there's not really much to do rainy day-wise around these parts.
We're in about a 400, maybe 375 square foot cabin with bunk beds, a single sink, 2 burners, a pull-out sofa, a toilet, and a shower.
Standing shower, like what you see at a Cape House.
Shower that is...
It's a phone booth. That shit's tight.
Equivalent to a phone booth, yeah.
Yeah, I was banging... Absolutely. I don't know if you heard, but I was banging my elbows on the wall trying to wash under my arms.
Brutal. Yeah.
We do have a TV with Netflix, though.
Anyhow, we got a small TV with Netflix, so that's been good. I guess the biggest thing, like Paul kind of mentioned, is that not really too much to do around here when it's raining, right? Reykjavik's a city, and you've got shops and restaurants and pubs and
cultural center,
different things, museums, and different things to do when the weather doesn't let you kind of get outside as much. Unfortunately, here that's not the case. So
there's restaurants if you want to spend $25 for a hamburger.
Yeah, which definitely isn't.
This sort of thing's not my bag, baby.
Yeah, this sort of thing is my bag, baby.
We've been quoting a lot of Austin Powers this week. So yeah, we have this. We'll be here till Wednesday, and this episode will almost certainly air after we've returned home. I think. Have you ever heard of the film The Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I have.
I know you've not seen it because. But this episode will be called The Icelandic Chainsaw Massacre. I've already figured out the title. And, it might never make it to air. They'll probably destroy when they break the door down to kill me. In a Wicker Man or a Midsummer fashion to horror movies that Tim has not seen. But the audience certainly should have. Not the bees! Nick Cage. The man, dude. Midsummer's fucked, though. That's more realistic to this, because that takes place in a Nordic country.
Don't like that whatsoever.
Well, we're not going to a festival. Yeah, have some Doritos. So, funny enough, we saw this type of Dorito out here that we thought, oh, this is interesting. I've never heard of sour cream Doritos. So we were like, let's get these. Maybe it's a different local flavor,
Turns out it's just fucking Cool Ranch.
It's a blue bag.
Still my favorite Dorito, so I'm not hating on it, but...
It's a blue bag, which should have given us that should have been the clue that gave it away. But, we'll be here till Wednesday. Wednesday, we got to go pick up Marshall and Kaylin, and you'll meet them on a later episode of the podcast. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be in Reykjavik from Wednesday to Wednesday. Thursday, I'm participating in a half marathon, and I'll have Tim there as my personal photographer.
With pom-poms waiting at the finish line.
Yeah, and I want like the full cheerleader outfit. I want the skirt, the whole thing. Justin Redmond and super psyched.
Now we're gonna go find Paul a couple fluffers.
Ooh, I do know what that means, and you all know what that means. You're gonna be doing the spin and jerk turn with Martha Johnstone, 000. Woo! I'm not wearing any panties.
It's dodgeball, yeah?
Yep. Yeah, Justin Long.
Fantastic.
Justin Long and that girl, she was in All That, right? Not All That, sorry. All That. Mid-90s Nickelodeon cartoon.
Oh, with Amanda Bynes?
I think so. Keenan and Kel were on that.
Oh, Keenan and Kel, yeah.
Yeah. Not a cartoon, excuse me. It was a TV show, but
right.
Live action TV show. I think that was the girl from All That. Great
Definitely
film.
Was.
Great film.
I don't think Amanda Bynes was that. I think that was the Amanda Bynes show, but
yeah,
which
and
is
then the Dancing Lobsters.
Nickelodeon. Yeah.
That was gas. That was great. Speaking of gas, Nickelodeon gas. Do you remember Nickelodeon gas at all? It might have been a few years. Actually, no. You were right in the right age for that because it was it ended too early for me to really truly enjoy it. That name doesn't ring a bell.
No. What was the slime? What was this slime shit that they used to do or something?
Slime. Getting slimed. They
Yeah.
would do it on like the reward shows or on the game shows and stuff. Yeah. So GAS was an acronym for Nickelodeon Games and Sports. So did the TV shows Legends of the Hidden Temple or Nickelodeon Guts or Global Guts or like any of those game shows that they would do, does any of that ring a bell?
Mm-mm.
No? The green monkeys or the green iguanas, the blue barracudas, the silver snakes, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Gutbusters,
Oh man,
Nutbusters,
Olmec.
Daisy Doos, Daisy Don't. No, I think that actually does ring
Olmec,
a
the
bell.
talking head there.
Mm-hmm.
He was like one of the old Olmec statues.
You're
or
making
Aztec.
me dig deep for this, but I think
The Temple of the Silver Monkey.
Uh-huh.
And you have to put the fucking 3 pieces together. It's the easiest shit, but those kids couldn't fucking figure it out. It's like base first, then the middle, and then the head. What always fucked them up was they could never figure out which way the torso and the base go. Does everything face out? Does it face in? The timer just ended. We're dead. Keep your fucking dick up. Yeah, no, that show was amazing. So Nickelodeon Gas, great show. I wish they brought that back. I missed those shows, but it was a channel. It was all reruns of all those old game shows.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so half marathon on Thursday, and then I think probably the thing you're most excited for is on Friday, the Blue Lagoon.
Blue Lagoon.
We have the premium the premium package, not the luxury package.
Premium, yep.
We have a silica face gel. We have 4 hours in the lagoon. We have access to the sauna and allegedly, we don't know for sure, but allegedly we have access to a sauna and a steam room.
Website was super vague, so we don't really know what's included in the package, but one free drink and a bathrobe.
Yes. I don't think we get to keep the bathrobe.
I mean, we'll see about that.
You know, bring a backpack and none the wiser.
Yeah.
But, yes.
Super excited for that. That should be good.
Yeah, that'll be a good time. I'd like to, if I can, I'd like to purchase a bathrobe, maybe something that's embroidered.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that'd be cool as fuck.
That'll be cool.
I own a bathrobe already, though. I have a nice LL Bean bathrobe. I look like Tony Soprano. I walk around the house with that thing on. No. Fleece. It's so warm, dude. Oh my god. I have flannel pajamas from LL Bean, though. And all those pieces are embroidered. They have my initials.
I love it.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. There's a great picture of me actually here. I'll show you. There's a great.
Does our water work?
Yeah, it's not. It's a spring, right? It's not based on. It's not based on. I don't think there's no pump, thankfully, or else it'd be really fucked. Because I've been trying to drink water. Here, there's a photo of. What was I going to show you?
Bathrobe.
Yes, there's a photo of me when I had COVID. Just laying around in the bathrobe. See if I can find it here. Here it is. This is day 2 of having COVID.
Where was that?
I'm at my brother's house.
Oh. Who took that picture?
I self-timed. Set it up in front, like up against the. I was watching the Masters.
So how did COVID hit you? I mean, was it bad? I mean, were you down and out for a little while? Was it a little sniffle and a cough? I mean,
so I'll tell you how I got it because a lot of people don't actually know. You know, they do think they go out and they live their life, and then suddenly one day they have it, and it's like, well, how did I get it? I can tell you where I got it from. I got it from my father. My father was at the Knights of Columbus meeting on Tuesday.
fucking Steve.
Big Steve, what are you doing, guy? That guy, he lived so
You don't
carefully.
need 3 fucking car lengths in front of you to fucking put on the fucking brakes. Come on, learn how to drive a fucking car, you jerk off. That's a Steve quote driving us to the airport on the way to Iceland, by the way. Fantastic.
Again, I
love
think
the
he
guy.
plays it up for the audience, you know?
I love it either way.
Yeah, he's a funny bastard, my dad.
He is.
But my dad doesn't do anything. He goes to church on Sunday, sits by himself.
Gets the bagels.
The Sunday bagels, you know it. You got the Asiago.
Mm-hmm.
He'll never forget your order, by the way.
Why?
He just
No one ever gets an Asiago?
No, he's an elephant. He has the memory of an elephant. I mean, he can remember everything in great detail, and I'm so jealous of his recall.
You know what I'd do for an Asiago bagel right now?
Right now?
Oh, fuck.
Those bagels are fucking dynamite, aren't they?
Oh, they're unreal. They're incredible. There's nothing like a
Fresh.
like a fresh bagel that comes from a Greater Boston bakery. I would actually argue to say that a New York deli can compete.
There's something in the water.
But that's neither here nor there. Regardless, Steve gets the bagels every Sunday morning. Never forgets an order. The guy's a fucking saint.
He's a great man. But so I was. He doesn't do anything. He goes to church on Sundays, and he goes to the Knights of Columbus meetings on Tuesdays twice a month, and that's it. That's all my father does. He doesn't go out. He doesn't like people. He hasn't been in the office forever. The car's finally leaving. That's good. Come my way. Come my way, homie. Fuck you up. Driving a little fucking Fiat.
So let me just make sure they get off the road here. Yeah, I don't need to help them.
They're probably already gone. They were cooking.
Yeah, they are. There they go. I don't want to see them bust a Yui, though. They were cooking. I can't get over how light it is outside.
I know, this is incredible.
Blows my fucking mind.
Folks, I will post if I remember, right? If I remember, I will post a photo of what it looked like when we were walking, because I took a picture of how light it was with the lighthouse going. I will post that photo as the artwork for this episode, so that you guys can see what it was like at 12:10 in the morning. You won't believe it. I'll have to figure out how to get the timestamp on there. Maybe I can do it in Snapchat. I'll look at it. But yeah, he doesn't do anything. He goes to church, goes to Knights of Columbus meetings. That's it. On Tuesday, he goes to a Knights meeting. I was coming home that weekend. On Wednesday, one of the gentlemen at the Knights of Columbus meeting tested positive for COVID. And they're all older gentlemen that go there, so he was a bit nervous. And so he tested and also my grandmother, as you know, is really quite sick.
Right.
And cannot deal with a case of COVID. That's, talk about a death sentence for her. So, as for, it would be for many elderly people. And my dad's almost 60.
For many, yeah.
Yeah. We've passed 1 million deaths in America, by the way, which is fucking crazy.
Jesus. Not to take a turn to negative town. Anyhow.
Yes, sorry. My dad got it. My dad was exposed, tested every day. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. My parents let me know on Thursday, like, hey, this is what's up. I was like, okay. I don't need to be around Dad, but, like, if he's feeling fine, like, And then I came home Friday night. And on Saturday, I went golfing with my friends. We played 18 holes of golf in the morning, like late morning. Got back to my parents' house probably like 3 p.m. We golfed, we had lunch. And then I was supposed to go to a New England Revolution game that night. Mm. And you know me, Tim. I never miss a game.
Oh, religious about it.
Whether I'm watching it on television or following this, like here yesterday, or I should say Sunday, I followed the score on my phone. But I was unable to watch it for obvious reasons. But if I have the power to watch it, I watch it. And if I can be there, I'm there. We had a game. There was a game Sunday night. It was like the third or second round of golf I had played, so I really wasn't back in the swing of playing and how tired it makes you to walk 18 holes. Mm. Got back to my parents' house. I was kind of tired, so about 4:30, 5 o'clock, I was like, I'm just going to grab like a 30-minute power nap. I'll pop up, feel refreshed, get dressed, go to the game for 7:30 kick, because we weren't doing anything before the game, so I didn't have to be there early.
Right.
The kickoff was 7:10. I rolled over at 7:15. I was like, fuck. So I was like, okay, I can't go to the game. For obvious reasons, it's a 30-minute drive from where I live. So I went upstairs and I sat on my dad had tested negative for now 4 days. And he said he still felt fine. So I went upstairs and I sat on we have a 3-seater couch. I don't know what you'd call those, because love seat's 2-seat. I don't know what a 3-seat is.
A sofa.
We have a 3-seated sofa. And he sat on one corner of the sofa, I sat on the other corner of the sofa, and we watched the Revs game. The Revs believe they won that game, or they drew. And then we watched the Bruins game. And then my parents went to bed. I went back downstairs, went to bed. Sunday morning, I woke up. I went upstairs to get my bagels. The bagels were there. And there was also a positive COVID test on the kitchen table. And I was like, what the fuck? Huh. So my mom came downstairs and she's like, your father has COVID. He woke up and tested positive this morning. He doesn't feel sick, but, you're going to have to take all your stuff, leave as early as you can today, get out of here and go quarantine at your brother's house, because I had to work Monday.
Yeah.
and just test rigorously. So I brought KN95s back up to Maine with me, and I felt fine on Monday. Tested negative on Monday. Tested negative Tuesday morning. I tested Monday morning and then Tuesday morning, and I felt fine both days. But Tuesday in the afternoon,
hit ya.
I started to get lightheaded. I started to have a bit of a scratch. I wasn't coughing, but I felt feverish. You know, and I also get bad tree pollen allergies. And I had been coughing a little bit from the tree pollen even before I was exposed to my dad having COVID. So I had been sick the week before, and I was still about the same. But it was the pollen. I was saying, like, I'm wearing the KN95 all day at work at the office, but I was coughing a little bit, and I was like, it's not COVID. I've tested negative. I could get COVID, but it's not COVID yet.
Sure.
It's just last week's pollen.
Sure.
Tree pollen. It always comes out early. It was, early April. And Tuesday during the course of the day, I started to just progressively feel worse, and I was like, it's this weird thing knowing that you have it. I couldn't leave the office for obvious reasons because I had tested negative, and I was supposed to, like, legally, I'm not legally obligated. If I needed to take sick time, I could, but, like, I'm obligated to be there if I've tested negative.
Right.
I go home. I go straight to bed. The next morning, I get up. I take a test. I piss hot so fucking quickly.
Oh.
That line showed up as soon as you put the solution on it. So fast. And so I texted the office, sent the picture of it, sent the picture to the movie theater because I was still working at the movie theater at the time. It was supposed to be my last weekend before I had busy season at work. And Wednesday, I felt like shit. For most of the day, I was feverish. I had a cough. And then Wednesday night was really the scariest thing. For 6 hours, I had uncontrollable tremors in my hands. I could not hold my hands still.
Damn.
My hands, I'm doing this in the light so Tim can see, my hands were doing this. I could not hold I wasn't feverish at that, like I didn't have a fever, I was getting chills.
Yeah.
But this was a progression of that. My hands were just vibrating, and I couldn't hold them steady. It was like I had Parkinson's.
Wow.
It was scary. It was 6 hours.
Yeah.
I literally had to do this just to lay down and try to fall asleep.
Yeah.
To hold my hands steady. I put my hands underneath my armpits. That was the scariest that it was. And then the rest of it was just like having a really bad cold. But like, I was bronchial. I was stuffed up. And I didn't...
Did you suffer from any like brain fog or like...
Because you got COVID and you had the fog.
I did, yes. So I still feel like I have some lingering effects sometimes. I feel like my memory recall isn't as good as it was. Could be combined with the COVID. Could be combined with the quarter ounce of weed I smoke daily. Who really knows?
I smoke a decent amount of weed, or did, I should say, and that was not something that I experienced.
Right. And so, I think that was one of the worst things for me. That was the scariest thing. Just not feeling like I was operating at...
You're good?
Not feeling like I was operating at a 100% mentally.
Full capacity.
Right, yeah. So, and even still, it could be all in my head. I don't fucking know. I read these articles and they say, long-term COVID effects include brain fog and fatigue and this and that. And, maybe it's fucking all in my head. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, I mean, not thrilled that I got it, but I am at least... I think there's some sense of relief. It's like you try and you walk around and you're super careful and you don't want to get it and you have one little cough or one little headache and you think, do I have it? And it finally came and went, and now it's like kind of like a weight off my shoulder. Okay, don't really give a fuck big deal, but
well, it's true you could get it again, right?
Absolutely, yeah. But I think the fear of getting it in the beginning, after getting it and know that I survived, it's not as scary now. It's like, okay, I get it. It'll be another fucking cold. Because I didn't really suffer from too bad symptoms. I don't even think I ever had a fever. It was more just like fatigue,
I never tested with a fever.
Yeah.
I felt hot and cold, but I never got above like 99.1 for my fever. It's interesting. It's interesting that you didn't have such a... But we must have had two different variants.
Yeah.
Did you lose your sense of taste and smell?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so you had that original one, right?
I did,
because
yeah.
that was... I think I had the Omicron.
Yeah.
Because that was really prevalent at the time, and that was a more mild one. But if it did that to me, and I had my 2 shots and my booster...
Yeah.
Imagine what it would have done to me if I didn't have anything. Like, I'm afraid I would have died.
Yeah,
So I'm very grateful that science gave us those.
Yeah, it's a weird time we're living in.
I know.
You know?
But you're right. It's that fear, right? Of every second you wake up with a sniffle and you're like, what the fuck? Like, now do I have it, right?
Do I have it, right? And it's like, so I guess there's some sense of relief after getting it, you know, just knowing I've got it, here it is, it's gone, okay, I'm going to go about my life because I've experienced it, right? I think a lot of the fear comes from the unknown.
Yes.
You don't know how you're going to react to it. You don't know what it's going to do to you personally. You see people that get it and they're, asymptomatic, and then you see people, or you hear people that get it and they don't last, unfortunately they don't last, they pass from it. But, so you never know how it's going to affect you. So I think just for me, getting it, seeing how it affected me, knowing that I've made it through, there definitely, I wasn't as, or now I'm not as nervous about it, right?
I'm jealous because of how, obviously everyone prays for a mild case, but just to see the dichotomy between our two cases.
Yeah.
I wasn't right it was a hell week for me. It was nice that was Masters weekend. So I quite literally just laid in bed and watched golf all weekend.
Yeah.
Thursday, I watched everything. I watched everything Wednesday. I watched the par 3 tournament. I know it got cut short because of the rain.
Right.
I watched all day Thursday. Friday, I for whatever reason, I was like, I don't really want to watch Friday. I'll watch the weekend, but Friday I watched like 4 movies.
And that's always good too. It's like,
now.
As a kid, I didn't mind being sick. It just meant it was going to be like a little bit of a break from school, watch movies, eat chicken noodle soup, almost get catered to in a way. My mom would make me grilled cheese, and I didn't have to cook for myself or fend for myself. It was the one time I got a little bit of, I was
little taste of the high life.
I was pampered a little bit,
yeah.
Right? So I think it was, fortunately I was living in Chicago and San Diego, and I had been all around the country at that point. But when I had caught COVID, I was fortunately at home. So again, I was sort of able to get that pampered treatment from my mom at that point, which is really, really nice. Had I been in a fucking hotel in Chicago or Michigan or in my apartment in Mobile or somewhere, I would have been fucked. I just would have been miserable.
Tell me about some of the places that you lived. You don't have to go into detail about the jobs you were doing or why you were there, but tell me what you enjoyed culturally about, because your vastness of experience in this great country of ours, well, not this great country that we're in currently, but the country that we call our home. Our passports are American, right? So
yeah, the motherland.
Mobile, that must have been quite a weird experience. Alabama, the deep south, is that like a Vic? Is there much to do there in a place like Mobile?
Yeah, Mobile is a city, Jesus, I can't even talk. By the way, it's 1 a.m. here and I'm fucking drained, but...
I shouldn't have started this as late as I did.
The population of the metro area contained about 1.2 million people, so there was
wow.
It was pretty big, and it was right on the Gulf of Mexico. Some beautiful beaches across the bay, Orange Beach, Gulf Shores, about 20-30 minute drives. Foley, Fairhope was a really, really cool little city. Just your typical southern towns where people drove around in golf carts and you had those shops and restaurants. It was super neat. The food was fantastic. I love Southern food.
I was going to say, do they do barbecue? Do they do like Cajun?
Ton of barbecue, ton of Cajun influence down there. But you
Tex-Mex?
Nope, not so much Tex-Mex. There was Mexican here and there, but it was more so Southern comfort style food. You didn't really find good pizza. There were very, very few pizza shops and not a lot of Chinese food. That's one thing that we sort of get in the Northeast a little more. Can't find too great a Mexican in the Northeast, and the barbecue is very sparse. If you do find it, it's
if you find a good one, you might have to drive a little ways. Yeah.
Right. But for the most part, it's par at best. But that's kind of the trade-offs. Just the nature of the region. But in the north, you get really, really good Italian food, really, really good pizza, and really, really good Chinese food. So, it was cool to kind of get down there and experience some cuisines that I wasn't necessarily accustomed to, but I've had before just from traveling, having family in the South, and trying that. So, that was cool. Ate a lot of barbecue, a lot of fried chicken. Oh. Holy shit, Gus's fried chicken!
I've heard of Gus.
If you're listening to this and you're ever in the South, Tennessee, Texas, Kentucky, I believe they have one. Don't know if they have one in Alabama, maybe Huntsville or Montgomery, but Gus's Fried Chicken, I can't recommend it enough. It's fucking fantastic. I get a 2-piece dark with collard greens.
Oh, collard greens.
Yeah, sometimes seasoned fries or baked beans, potato salad, depending, but collard greens is always going to be a go-to for me. But yeah, the food was good. The culture was really, really cool, and a lot of that Southern hospitality that they speak of is definitely real. But just like anywhere, you get assholes, So I did run into a few of those.
Is there any truth to the saying that in the Northeast people are not kind, or excuse me, they're not nice, but they're kind. But in the South, people are nice. Are I'm messing it up. Essentially, the conceit of the saying is that in the Northeast, people aren't openly nice to you, but they're good people. They have good hearts. But in the South, people are nice to you, but they're prejudiced and they're outwardly very kind. They're like, "Hi, how are you?" They'll say hello to you on the street.
Yep.
But they might not be, outside of like they're welcoming, but they're not affectionate.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I
Nice,
would say
but one of them's nice but not kind, and the other one's kind but not nice. I forget which
I would
one.
say that that's true to a degree. I mean, Northerners are definitely fucking assholes. I don't know about the kind part. I think if you get in with a good crew and you have friends that are solid and family, they'd give you the shirt off your back in the Northeast. But I think, a lot of them are fucking, they're just assholes. Yeah. And in the South, I think the same is true. I wouldn't say there's as many assholes, but people are probably more willing to say, "Hey, hello, how are you?" when you pass them on the street. And there is that Southern hospitality. They'll invite you over for barbecues and dinners and things like that. I had a lot of coworkers and employees that worked for me that were constantly, "Hey, we're throwing a barbecue this weekend. Come on over. People I met, clients and customers throughout my job that would invite me to various things after knowing me for 45 minutes. So I think that there's definitely that degree of Southern hospitality down there. But
yeah. Did you ever were you expected to bring something?
I don't know that I was expected to bring something. It was never asked of me, but I'm the type of guy who feels like I can't ever show up somewhere empty-handed, certainly if I'm invited, right? I like to...
What would you bring?
If I were to bring anything, a lot of times, I would bring a dessert. I'd try and go pick up something like, I don't know, a dessert, or I'd bring drinks. So, a lot of times you can get away with just showing up with a case of beer.
Yeah, 12-pack or something.
Yeah, that really will go a long way.
Yeah. What do they drink down there? Like PBRs, Bud Lights?
Well, I mean, yeah. I think I drank a lot of Bud Lights. I think they would drink Bud Lights, Miller Lights. Definitely beers.
Coors?
Coors, yeah, Coors.
I'm just trying to think of what, I don't mean to say stereotypically Southern, but really, like, truly down-home American. Like, they have to be American drinks. That's why I think of Budweisers and Bud Lights.
Budweisers, yeah, absolutely, a lot of Budweisers.
Those Clydesdale commercials.
Yeah.
With the dog.
But I think, out west it was a lot of Pacificos and Coronas and those types of things. When I go to Texas, I find a lot of Dos Equis and Modelos.
Do they drink, you ever see Red Stripe?
Oh, I love Red Stripes. Yeah,
that's
the
Jamaican
lagers.
Yeah. Yeah,
they're good. And they're not, I didn't see those as much. I didn't find that people were drinking a ton of Red Stripes. It's hard to find them in the Northeast. I remember one time I was...
You know where they have them?
Where's that?
I shouldn't say, because I don't want to blow up the spot. But the restaurant that we were talking about that has wing night, you thought it was the one. Mm-hmm. I mentioned it was the other that has multiple locations. They have Red Stripe in the stout bottle.
Yeah, I think that's the only way they come. I've only ever seen them in the stout bottles. Yeah,
but that's cool as fuck.
Yeah, they're fucking good. Red Stripe. I mean, realistically, it's more about the idea, the not necessarily the taste, but just the idea of drinking it. You almost feel like you're in the islands. Red Stripe, Jamaican lager. It's what they drink down south. I
can hear a steel drum in the distance.
Exactly. But it's a decent, just regular, typical lager. But
you didn't have to move your feet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So lived in Mobile, lived in Memphis cramped for a bit. Lived in Chicago for a while.
What is Chicago like? The Windy City. I heard is it violent right now?
It's just that. It's windy. Yeah, Chicago's super violent. When I was there were murders happening every week, and I don't know what the fuck Mayor Lightfoot's doing over there, or what she was doing.
Lori Lightfoot.
Yeah, she was
the Corona killer, or whatever they call her.
I know, Jesus Christ. But they,
who's
struggling.
She's got a big fan. She's got a big fan in Tim Dillon, the comedian we listen to in the car.
Really?
He does just hysterical bits about Mayor Lightfoot. I gotta play one or two of them for you.
Yeah, she's
something.
Right, she's something. I'm not gonna sit on here and badmouth anybody, but
she looks like the Penguin.
Yeah, she does. Danny DeVito.
Yeah, well, any incarnation of the Penguin.
Yeah. So Chicago is cool. I bounced back and forth between Chicago and Lansing, Michigan for a while. Both places super cold. I was there during most of the winter months and early spring, so it was fucking
tough time to be
brutally cold
in the
there.
north.
But
Was it worse than our home, the Northeast, our home area?
I think Chicago was, just because they had that lake effect. So when they call it the Windy City, you know, it's just that. It's the windy fucking city. So when it's on a 15-degree day with 40-mile-an-hour gusts, it'll fucking...
Your wind chill is well
shake
below
you to
zero.
the core, yeah. It's fucking so cold there.
Is it as dry as New England, dry winters? Because that's the part I can never deal with.
I think it was definitely dry.
You know how you wake up and your nose is so dry and your lips are chapped every morning?
Yeah.
You know, I get up, I go to the bathroom, relieve myself, take a little piss.
Yeah.
And before I could turn the fucking shower on, I would just like touch I could just like touch my nose just like that. Like just touch the bridge of my nose and my nose would start bleeding.
Yeah.
At my parents' house.
It's fucked. Yeah.
Too fucking dry.
Yeah, Chicago was cold. You know, the thing about Chicago, I'm a big skier, as you know, Paul, snowboarder, I guess I should say. And Chicago, I guess, or Illinois in general, just gets so much fucking snow. But wouldn't you know, it's the second flattest state in the United States.
Let me try to guess what the flattest
is. Guess what the flattest state in America is.
I'm going to say Oklahoma.
Florida. Fact check it.
Are you kidding me?
Swear to God. And Illinois is number 2. So with all that fucking snow that they get, you can't even. They don't even have a hill to ski on. It's pitiful. So one of the ways I like to get out and enjoy the winter is by going snowboarding, especially in New England. We've got some pretty fun mountains: Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont.
When you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
Florida takes the prize for the flattest state in the nation.
Yeah.
The highest point in the state is only 345 feet above sea level.
Pitiful.
Then Illinois.
Yeah.
Then North Dakota, Louisiana, Montana, and Delaware. Kansas ranks 7th.
Montana.
You wouldn't think. I feel like there's got to be a mountain or two.
I know there is. There's fucking there's a big ski mountain out there. What the fuck? Why can't I think of it right now?
Maybe it's long, but it's
no, it's tall. It's fuck's sakes. What is it? Again, I said it once. I'll say it a million times. It's 1 a.m. here, and my brain is not working. But
you're doing good. You're doing all right.
My phone doesn't have service, so I can't look it up. But I know what the fuck the
mountain in Montana. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
And while I'm doing that, why don't you tell us a little bit? If I could presume, I'm going to assume that your favorite place to live in all of your travels is the one you've yet to mention. It must be San Diego.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if it was my favorite place to live. I enjoyed it. The weather's great. A lot of fucking people.
Big Sky.
Big Sky. That's exactly it. Big Sky, Montana. Yep, that's exactly it. California was shit. California is just kind of in my opinion. And I apologize if you're listening to this and this, is a little personal. But California is just a shitty fucking state. I don't like it. I hate it. I didn't enjoy it. Beautiful state, but it's a shitty one.
Really?
Yeah. The people are tough. Everyone's pretentious and fake. And maybe I better chill out here.
So, brass tacks. The homeless problem, San Diego?
Yeah. Oh, the homeless was horrendous.
Because obviously you hear LA, San Francisco. I never hear much about homeless people in San Diego.
Yeah, it's bad.
Is it just as bad? Maybe not just as bad, but it is.
I would wager to say it's almost just as bad as Los Angeles. I mean, they don't have a fucking Skid Row, but it's terrible. I was coming around the corner one time, getting ready to pull into my parking garage under my building. I lived in a high rise on the corner of 15th and Market in the Gaslamp District in downtown San Diego, and I turned the corner only to see this guy he's got his pants down. He's taking a shit, homeless guy, on the side of my fucking building. And that was one of the first things I saw. I'd been there for a couple weeks, and come to find out it's a regular occurrence.
Jesus.
But they were everywhere, and it was awful. I mean, think about it though. It's the weather never gets above 82 degrees and never really gets below like 67 degrees. It's a perfect fucking place to be homeless. Perfect place. Weather-wise, perfect place to be homeless. You got the beach there. I mean, these people just, and there's a lot of money, so there's a lot of waste. I mean, they can go dumpster diving and find a ton of fucking stuff because there's just, there's so much polarity in that state. It's like
that's so interesting.
You have the extreme have-nots and the extreme haves. It's
how is it that they gravitate towards each other?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's
you get Zuckerberg over there in Menlo Park doing God knows what, and up the street there's just
You got fucking
Don't they have
Skid Row.
60,000 homeless people
Something like that. I went to Venice
in
Beach actually.
L.A.? Oh,
I went to
Venice Beach, man. I wish I was better at skateboarding than I am. I tried it. It was the smash hit of that summer. Got a couple videos of me just like gently pushing on the board. And I can't do an ollie, and I can't stop.
It's hard, man. Skateboarding's hard.
You skate, right?
Tip my hat. I did for a little bit growing up. I did. I could do a couple. I could ollie. I could kickflip. Do a couple things.
You can kickflip?
Yeah. I don't know about
Before
anymore,
we
but
leave
I
my
could.
parents' house,
Yeah.
you got to get on my board
I'll
and
show you
just
something.
see if you can do something.
Yeah. I actually bought a board during COVID. I got a new setup. I got
Me
like
too.
a Baker board and Spitfire wheels, a couple other things. But
There you go.
anyways, yeah, those guys are fucking good. But Venice Beach, I went there with my brother. I'd been there back in the early, probably 2010, 2009. And it was okay, a little grimy, but it wasn't too bad. And I went back there in 2021 with my brother who lives in LA part-time. He's bi-coastal, as you know, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And we went down to Venice Beach, and it was just, you couldn't even see the ocean because the fucking tents of the homeless just littered the beach.
No.
Nobody was on the beach. It was terrible. It's such a, dangerous, gross, grimy place. I mean, it's gone way, way downhill, and I feel sorry for the folks that live there, but
I know.
it's just...
Think about your tax dollars,
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And those people pay so much to live there, and that's one of the things they have to put up with and deal with. And it sucks because these homeless people, I mean, I don't want to shit talk them, but...
Yeah, we're not being insensitive here. We're just simply stating the fact that this is a problem,
It's tough.
And
I don't know that there's much being done to deal with it.
No.
Which is an unfortunate thing.
No, because if they actually fix the problems, then what would we need politicians for, right?
Right, yeah, exactly.
They're there to identify problems, and if they actually start fixing problems, then they're out of a job because there's no problems to identify.
Right.
And I learned that after a long contemplation of life, and I realized that both sides don't really have our best interest in mind, and that's that. Checking the door. How's it look out there?
I think I see a big pink-haired lady coming with the chainsaw.
Oh, excellent. When I hear the fucking when I hear the vroom, that's when I actually shit my pants. Yes, Edda, one of our hosts, the Airbnb hosts, she's pink hair. She's pink hair, and she's also a big girl. Ragnar looks like Hodor from Game of Thrones. I mean, truly, he looks like he could be Hodor's brother. He looks like he could be. You know how Russell Crowe's kind of big now?
Yeah.
He looks like he could be Russell Crowe's brother.
He does look like he does.
He met Russell Crowe and Jennifer Connelly.
Filmed the movie.
One of the great raven-haired, hazel-eyed beauties. She's vintage Hollywood attractive. Just disarmingly beautiful. I mean, can't say a better word about her. Huh? What time is it? Right now it is 1:02. So we'll wrap this up in like 15 minutes. And then when we're up at 10 o'clock in the pissing rain. Watch this. We're going to wake up at 10 a.m. and it's going to be sunny tomorrow.
I hope.
Could you imagine?
Is this the type of thing you can shove and then continue tomorrow?
We'll probably end our episode and then do another one. I'd rather have multiple episodes where we talk about the days.
Yeah.
We did exploring around Vic today, and so we saw Dyro Haley, I believe it's pronounced.
Dyer Haley.
The downed U.S. fighter jet that went down in '73. We saw Reynisfjara Beach, which is right there outside our window.
What was that waterfall there?
Oh, we went to Skogafoss today.
Skogafoss, yeah.
And saw multiple falls there.
That was powerful.
Nature, raw nature. But I think so far the highlight of the trip for me, the fighter plane, sure, that's part of it, but walking in and out of that was kind of sucky.
Yeah.
I genuinely greatly enjoyed, I called it the Hole. I know it's got a name.
Yeah,
but there's
that
a little
cave that
hidden
you went
waterfall.
in,
That we went in yesterday. Well, Sunday. We had a shitty time. We got here with pissing rain.
Oh, no
Side
sleep.
note.
Took a red eye. Been up for fucking 36 hours.
We get here and it's pissing rain. I've never seen let's say that this is the state of New Hampshire, right? Or Massachusetts. The entirety of the island is raining. And
Couldn't
it
go
rained all
anywhere.
day.
Couldn't go anywhere to escape it. Really,
It was insane.
It was quite phenomenal.
We have that
honestly.
tomorrow. Yeah, very impressive. It's real great coverage. I'm talking. This is one of the great defensive performances of all time.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Dennis Rodman in '97. I mean,
Yeah.
just unstoppable. You will not score on him.
Yeah.
But so we had to kind of augment our plans. We were supposed to explore around the airport, Keflavik, a little bit. Maybe we can do that on Wednesday. But we finally were on our way down. We struck out. We tried to. With two things we tried to do. We tried to go
springs, play golf.
Yes, we tried to go to the one of the hot springs, and it was at capacity at the time. And then we tried to play golf at Hella Golf Course. And the starter, God bless him for being kind and honest, he said, "I don't think you want to go out. It's going to get bad." And within 10 minutes of us leaving, it just got fucking bad. So I'm glad we didn't do that. But then we were on our way down here, kind of defeated. And we stopped because you saw Shell Jowland's Foss, I believe it's.
That was where we saw that little waterfall in the cave.
And then we dipped over off to the left, and you can go and you can stand in this cave, and the waterfall comes down right above your head, and you can stand on this big rock and you can just look up at this hole, and it was otherworldly. So I was very happy to experience that. I think that was one of the most. That was the most impressive thing. I know you really like Daira Haley with the view up at the top of that cliff.
That was super cool, too.
That was cool as fuck. And just the endless black sand beach on one side, and then you have Reynisfjall on the other side.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. The whole spoke to me.
Yeah. No, it was cool. I mean, there's too many things for me to even pick one of them to be a favorite. It's just all been incredible. It's been amazing. Again, it almost feels like we're not even on the same planet.
We actually took a plane, a space shuttle with Elon Musk. Elon's here. He's a quiet guy.
Yeah, he's rolling up a blunt right now.
Is this a joint or is that a cigar? I love that when he's on Rogan.
Yeah.
He's just like, is that a cigar or is that what you call a joint? Yeah, I have a gif of that on my phone. I pull that out constantly.
So
he does that like weird like supervillain face. He was like,
yeah.
Right, exactly. But so yeah, we'll check in and do another video probably maybe tomorrow or Wednesday or today or Wednesday because it's 1 a.m.
Certainly.
But did you enjoy the pit?
Absolutely.
Got to walk a little bit about yourself, and we learned a little bit about all the great food in Mobile. I would not have expected Alabama to be as chill as it was. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was chill. It took some getting used to, and I think you had to really search to find the good little nuggets. Not a lot of it came at face value, if that makes sense. So, but
you work hard, and the hard work works back, right?
Right. Sure. Absolutely.
But alrighty, Tim and I are going to sign off. Get a little fucking shut eye.
Yeah.
And
Lord knows we need it.
Get back to it tomorrow. It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow, so there's a chance we record again.
Absolutely.
And there's no shortage of things to discuss. So Thank you for tuning in. That was almost an hour. That was not bad, Tim. So we're going to sign off, and we will see you in the next one.